Hello and welcome back to Versus Live. I'm Todd Anderson. Say the words, Emma. Say the words.
I'm Emma Handy.
All right, we got Robbo in the booth. We're going to be playing some more War of the Spark Standard. We've had two really sweet matches so far. I had Azorius Control get pretty hammered in Game 3. A really tight match, though, against your Martyr Aristocrats deck, where you were featuring Cruel Celebrant, Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord, and Dreadhorde Butcher. Those three cards gave you a really aggressive slant, a lot of longevity, which I really liked. The Azorius Control deck, with its passive removal, like Seal Away and Settle the Wreckage, really just got run over. As far as the second match is concerned, I had a really couple of sweet ones where I thudded you out, but in our best of 5 set, where we had a lot of quick games, lost once to Dreadhorde General, lost once because I didn't hit my third land on turn 3, even though I cast Mop. There it is. Love it.
I'm a millennial. I'm sorry. I got it. Had to do it to him.
Anyway, third and final match of the day. Emma, tell us what you're playing.
So I am playing the Simic Nexus deck. This is something that kind of gained popularity at Pro Tour 25 in a Bant form, survived rotation. Now we have things like Growth Spiral and the like to just take a bunch of turns in a row. Again, it's the commander player and me coming out. I just like playing Time Walks.
Yeah,
but in the new set, we have the new Tameo, Collector of Tales, who I actually wrote an article about today over on StarCityGames.com. Make sure and go check it out. And as well as Commence the Endgame, which you wrote an article about. Yeah. So the thing that Tameo does for this, she does a ton, actually. So she finds your nexuses as you get to that phase of the game. But earlier in the game, she helps you find your Wilderness Reclamations, your Search for Azcanta, your combo pieces that you need to set up. And you even have things like Nexus and Chemistress Insight that you don't mind if you mill over. And finally, her minusing in order to get back something like Root Snare against a creature-based aggressive deck is basically -3 Time Walk.
Yeah, it's so good. One thing I'm curious about now, how does your deck actually win the game?
I commence the end game.
Oh, nice. Nice. Second question. On the new Tameo, what is the static ability and how does that affect your deck?
Not much. Players cannot cause you to discard cards or sacrifice permanents, which can come up against things like Thought Erasure, Nicol Bolas, and so on. But for the most part, this deck in general is particularly linear, and
well, one of the easiest ways for your opponents to attack you after sideboard, I think, is going to be like Duress, Thought Erasure. So having a way to dig for cards while also protecting your hand is not. It's not nothing.
Yeah, that's true. And, we saw last game the way that I killed your Rao was with a Plague Crafter, and that's not something that's possible against Tameo.
Yeah, that was really good.
Sorry, I can just rub some salt in there.
All right, so I'm going to be battling against Emma today with Azorius Aggro. This deck has been all over the place for the last few months, ever since Ravnica Allegiance came out. Being able to splash blue off of Hallowed Fountain allowed you to play a white weenie deck with access to some really potent disruption in the sideboard. Things like Disdainful Stroke, Negate, and even Deputy Detention, which saw a lot of main deck play at the beginning of last standard season. This version, I'm going to be cutting all of the wonky blue stuff in favor of Gideon Blackblade. Now, this card is pretty sweet. 3-mana Planeswalker that is effectively a static 4/4 that also has a plus ability that allows you to start attacking in with 2 creatures you've given Vigilance. Indestructible to protect it from a sweeper effect, as well as Gideon has Indestructible itself on your turn, as well as when it's your opponent's turn, he's just not a creature.
Right.
And then his -6 is exile a non-land permanent. And that's really all you do is tick up, and then minus an exile permanent if you want. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the card's just very, very strong. Yeah. Very above rate.
So that is what I'm playing today. Basic white weenies with some Gideon Blackblade. So let's go ahead and start the match. I have lost the marbles.
Real quick.
No, what?
Before we begin, I have a video that was given to me from Dan May that I don't know what this is, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, shot you.
I don't know what the person in the chair said.
That was some music video.
I couldn't hear.
I don't know either.
Okay, well, you all heard it, I'm sure. I'm sure it made a lot more sense.
Knocking at my door was...
Oh, that's nice. All right, well, let's go ahead and start the match here because we need to get this finished. That was Dan. I don't know, Jeremy. Get out of here. We're working. All right, I will keep my hand. I need to draw a land, though.
I also need to draw a land, but it has a couple redraws, so I think we're supposed to try this on the draw, and we'd throw it back on the play.
All right, 18 and Start with the Sky Marcher Aspirant.
Go.
Land? Yes! Let's go... Dauntless Bodyguard, protect this. Legion's Landing, attack for 2.
We're at 18. Oh, God. Go.
Attack for 5, transform this.
13.
And I will play a Gideon and Blackblade.
Growth Spiral.
Sure.
Go.
Wait, no.
No, I mean, continue with your Gideon.
So it's a 4/4. I will plus. I'll protect the vampire. With Indestructible, I guess. I don't know. Your turn.
Don't really know how we win from here, but...
Me neither. Sure. Oh, no. There it is.
What sequence of draws doesn't involve us losing? I don't think there is one.
What? Where you going?
What? Yeah. I'll tell you what. Tell me what cards I could draw away from here.
Okay.
Because, like, I have to spend a draw step on the land.
Okay.
And then I Wilderness Reclamation and just die.
Look, I was just, I assumed your hand was like Wilderness Reclamation and a Root Snare, and you were just giving up prematurely.
No, I didn't have the Root Snare.
Yeah.
It was like 2 Growth Spirals, 2 lands, Reclamation, Chemister's Insight, Nexus.
Yeah.
So, like, I think you have to keep it in, like, a Sabotage or something. So, I don't know. Felt pretty bad, but I don't think I can reasonably mulligan that hand. I mean, maybe, I don't know, this deck needs mana so bad that I maybe was just supposed to mulligan it anyway.
I don't know. I think on the draw, I'd definitely keep 2-lane Growth Spiral, like, quite a bit, especially if I have one of my really powerful 4-drops, and, like, you kind of have to hope you draw a land, or at least 1, maybe 2 in the top 3 cards, or 4 cards. 3 cards? I don't know. It's fine. 4
5 cards?
Fine. I think it's 4. 2 draw steps and a Growth Spiral.
I'm on the draw. So, 1 land in the top, like, 3, 2 in the top 4.
All right, you're
6,
up first.
7. Yeah, we made this mistake last game. Let's do it again.
All right.
Go.
Nice. 18, I'm going to play Sky Marcher Aspirant. Your turn.
All right.
Say the definition of insanity is playing Nexus of Fate.
All right, so I think we actually just want to try to get more of these triggers out before anything, because that's just how we find the cards that we actually need.
Okay.
So we're going to do this, and you may go. Don't want to miss that here and get real embarrassed.
This, protect here, this, attack for 2.
8.
You have no removal, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, here we go.
Trigger. We'll draw it.
Okay.
Let's do this at sorcery speed, and this is just basically in case we draw something we want to cast.
Like an opt.
And we did not, so we will just do this and play this for turn. You may go.
Tilt.
The big way that could change things is if we were to draw like another Growth Spiral or something. Gross.
Figure 14. Here we go.
14. I've taken 4.
6. I don't know. Maybe.
This is turn 3.
I was gonna say I thought it was 16. But...
Sure. I don't know, dude.
I'll draw for turn.
Yeah.
Go.
All these 3s in my hand. Attack 4, 4.
I can feel my like late 2000s edgelord coming out. So you're like all these 3s, and I just started thinking of Bullet for my Valentine.
All right.
I know.
Do your thing. Do your worst.
All right, my worst it is. Go. That is the worst.
Nice. Attack for 6.
I'm at 6.
Go.
End step. Kick this. Draw. Untap. Upkeep. Trigger. Mill Sabotage. Draw. Alright, so... I don't love this, so we can be really risky, or we definitely get to take at least 2 more turns, so I believe that means we are just supposed to... It's 10, yeah. So we're going to Legend Rule. in order to make sure we get to flip this to or transform it to protect it from Conclave Tribunal. In step 3, Nexus.
I see Cedric 2 has rubbed off on you by saying transform instead of flip.
It's well, you see, it's branding.
And by saying we're not. So just so y'all know, home, we're not really supposed to say the word spoiler ever. I use spoil when it's a card that is not official, and I use previewed when it's a card that is official.
Trigger.
Yeah. As far as.
Well, this is actually really nice because without Tamio in the deck, I could not mill this, or I would lose. I would have no way of winning the game.
Good to know.
So I am going to now draw for turn. Speak of the devil.
That's a pretty rude thing to say about Tamio.
She's
She's just floating around multiverse taking notes.
doing her best, you know.
Friggin' nerd.
Okay, well, we are going to play Tamio.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we can't do this because we need you to not Conclave Tribunal. I knew there was a reason that we had to just go ahead and Nexus again. All right. In step, do the Nexus thing.
Okay. You still have 3 floating. I assume you're not doing anything with the mana.
Correct.
Okie dokie.
All right, there's that. All right, next turn, upkeep, trigger on the stack. Chemist's Insight.
Mm-hmm. Draw. Oh, yep.
There we go. That's what we were. That's the stuff. Draw for turn.
Yep. Yep.
Oh.
Untap all your lands, Emma.
How could I forget?
You gonna float and activate Escanta or anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna float 3. I was just so relieved all of this worked.
Oh, okay.
That
I see you have 3 floating.
now I have nothing floating.
True dat.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Tight. I'll play Elysian Landing.
Yep.
Make it vampire. Attack with these. Cool. Oh wait, no, I can't attack. I should definitely only attack for lethal, huh? Or sorry, sure. Then second main, Conclave Tribunal. Your turn.
All right. We're gonna Chemist's Insight, discarding this forest.
Okay.
First card, second card. All right. Here's the Reclamation. Here is. I don't actually think the extra mana there matters, which means I'm supposed to do this. So let's go in step 3, and then use my 3 floating.
Nexus, and then activate Escant.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Card if you like. Activate.
Yep. At this stage, I'm pretty much dead. The odds of Emma not hitting something like a root snare or whatever, like I can't really break the chain. And whenever they get Escanta plus Wilderness Reclamation going in this matchup in particular, it becomes almost impossible to win.
Tamio.
Yeah.
Up to 6 on a Nexus of Fate. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Those all go to the graveyard.
Yep.
Nice.
Arch. I have the Star City's
We both
Blessing.
have the Star City's Blessing.
Heck yeah, we do. Go us, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Good for us. In step, trigger on the stack. We're going to activate Ascanta. Reveal Opt. Float 1. So we can do this, which does not leave us enough to Nexus. So that means we are supposed to opt with our 1 floating.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, sorry. It's the top card.
Okay.
Sorry, I was thinking of
No, you're good,
Ascanta. I'm just trying to play as fast as possible here.
I'm just going to concede.
All right, that's
okay.
good. That's
'Cause
great.
I'm like I said, I think you're roughly 99.9 maybe even more than that percentage chance to
I
win.
had to see, 13 cards a turn minimum to try and find a card that I have 4 of in my
And
deck.
you have Tamio, so at the very least you just go minus
Root
root snare.
snare. Yeah.
Minus root snare. You do it twice.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's
The
almost
game was
impossible.
effectively over.
All right, we're going to take a short break here. If you have any questions for Emma or myself, this is the last chance you're going to get to ask Emma anything for a whole week. Make sure to get your questions into Rob. He's going to be picking his faves. We're going to get the sideboards here. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. All right, Emma, your sideboard plan seems short and sweet. You want to give us a little rundown?
Yep. All right, your go.
I see you've pulled out Crushing Canopy and Negate.
Yeah, so these are the only cards on my sideboard that I really thought about very hard. I do have some other options. I could theoretically be bringing like Druid of the Cal here because it is a reasonable blocker. You could try that over Sinister Sabotage, but for the most part, because I have built the deck in such a way that it leans a little bit harder on the fogs with things like Tameo, I think I just want to lean really hard into that angle of it. You could also make cases for Crushing Canopy since it blows up Conclave Tribunal and a couple of your flyers. That's not that great. And most of what I want Sinister Sabotage to be doing, Negate could tag anyway. Like, it's better at fighting other Negates and the like.
Yeah.
But Sinister Sabotage can tag Deputy of Detention, which I think is probably worth just having the additional copy. It very much is a situation where really the deck's pretty tight, and this is one of the matchups, like why you play the deck.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot going on a sideboard here.
Yeah, on my side, this is why you're splashing blue for matchups like this. They're pretty tough in game one because you can't really get out of those soft locks. And things like Negate, Disdainful Stroke can basically buy you that one turn you need to do the last few points of damage, whether you're countering the fog that's preventing lethal, or you're stopping the engine with something like Wilderness Reclamation or that Nexus of Fate on a key turn. We're bringing in basically all points of interaction that we have in our sideboard. Deputy Detention can knock off some of the early enchantments, and then same with Conclave Tribunal. Plus, there's a chance that Emma does have something like Hydroid Krasis, and she definitely has the Commence the Endgame, so having answers to those types of cards is sometimes worthwhile. We're going to be cutting Gideon Blackblade, even though it's the only new card in our deck. This is not really the best matchup for it. We saw it in game one, 3 mana 4/4 applied to a significant amount of pressure, but this is a card that's going to help you apply pressure to something like Esper Control, or be like a pretty good deterrent against an opposing mid-range deck or aggro deck by +1ing, giving your creature lifelink, or +1ing, giving it indestructible, so you dominate combat. But this matchup, we are just trying to get as much stuff on the battlefield as quickly as possible and close the game as quickly as possible. And Gideon costing 3 mana is a little bit worse than both History Benalia at doing that, as well as Banash Marshall. And then Stubborn Sentry, pretty much the same thing. Obviously, we don't want to cut a lot of 1-drops, but this one cannot apply pressure while we're holding up Negate and stuff like that. So we're going to be trimming that.
Perfect.
All right, Robbie.
All right.
Bobbert, if you will.
For Emma, why are you playing Druid of the Cowl? What matchups do you actually want?
Green-black is a really big one. Red deck, where blocking itself is actually way more relevant because every time you actually take a hit from one of their creatures, that's one less Lightning Strike-esque form of damage that you can take. And you have a lot more trouble locking out the red decks indefinitely, whereas the white deck, I can go to 2 and we'll be fine as long as I can root snare. That's not the case with red.
Yeah.
So I'm more interested in Druid of the Cowl in those kinds of situations.
Yep. I mean, it's a ramp spell, which is pretty solid in general, but also, yeah, the 1/3 body just being able to block is pretty huge.
Todd, a lot of questions. Why aren't you playing Dovin's Veto?
That's a good question. It should be Dovin's Veto. So it's just going to be. I just basically started with a shell of a different deck and didn't really consider it because I forgot that Dovin's Veto was a card. So Negate is Dovin's Veto.
Dude, Twitch chat sucks.
They're so smart. What? Oh, because they're...
I'm just over here trying to get the clean sweep.
Oh, yeah.
And y'all are ruining it.
No.
Oh, this hand's bad.
That's Dovin's Veto. He's just like, no.
Thank you. Next.
Bacon. Eggs.
Todd, do you still I guess Emma as well, but I know Todd has played this before.
What's that?
Do you still think there's room for like the Ral combo anywhere? Or Ral to be the centerpiece of the deck like that?
I honestly have no idea. Ral is such a weird card with a really convoluted combo. So Expansion and Explosion is not an aggressive card. It's a combo card or a control card. And Ral in all forms is very strong as an aggressive card because the plus hits players and planeswalkers, and the static hits players and planeswalkers. So you're just doing a lot of chip damage, like something like a Thermo Alchemist almost, where you're just like constantly doming your opponent. And he doesn't really work well as like creature control. So playing him with Expansion Explosion is kind of counterintuitive, even though it works as a combo. So I mean, there might be a way to build a really low to the ground Izzet deck featuring Ral as an aggressive card that does get to play like 4 copies of Expansion Explosion, and maybe you get to steal a game or two with the combo. But I find it really tough to want to play Expansion Explosion in a deck where you're never casting Explosion.
Yeah,
So.
it feels really bad.
So it's tough. My hand is another one lander. I gotta keep, I guess. I don't know. Did you mulligan?
Yep, and I scried bottom.
All right, 18. I'm just gonna keep on attacking for 2. That's what my deck does. All right, attack you. Play another one.
18 on.
Your turn.
Nice. Keep that up.
Hush.
I think I have to keep this, even though it's not very good here. That's rough. I'm actually gonna try bottoming that. That just costs so much mana, and we're so far away.
Just don't forget to draw off of the op.
Opt. Turn. Go.
Land.
14.
Go.
We're doing it.
Yeah, I am not doing it. Next is Fate. Oh, you put in the graveyard and the shuffle?
Yeah.
Nice. You don't want to draw that one right now.
That is true. Very glad I bottomed one a second ago.
You got moto bugged.
I know, right? All right, draw for turn.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's just like actually the reason that people insist that others play with like proxies of them is because they just kind of stick together if they're the only foils in your deck. Go.
6.
I'm an 8.
I'm gonna put an 8th power on the battlefield. So go.
Trigger.
I'm trying my best. Please tell me you're just dead. Please tell me you're just dead. Put it in the graveyard, draw a card, and concede.
I think I'm supposed to keep this.
Put it in the graveyard.
Technically, it makes Opt a better draw.
Okay.
So let's start here.
I can't.
Oh my god.
So land.
Put this into play.
Okay.
I'm gonna shock in breeding pool. Go.
Okay, you're at 6.
Yep.
Attack.
Yeah, man, you got it.
We're gonna play. We still got like 14 minutes. We actually the last 2 matches went pretty fast. Where
Jesus.
the previous.
It
first
wasn't
match
ever
was pretty
coming.
long.
Did you cut my root snares?
I didn't do anything. I'm sorry. Look, all I did was I played 1 land, and I played 4 creatures. I'm
I
sorry.
let you cut my deck
Your deck
one
has
time.
I'm sorry. Your deck has a fail rate.
Your
Fail rate
deck
achieved.
has a fail rate.
Yeah, but mine still attacks for 2, a whole lot.
That is true.
That hand was not keepable against basically every other deck in the format, but in that scenario, if I draw a second land, my hand is just like triple 1-drop with double counterfill.
That's it.
That's the one.
I mean,
got him.
I guess you just had to deal with a turn 5 kill.
All right, what's up, Robbie?
Emma, we had talked about wanting Druid of the Cow because it blocks.
Bring it.
Compared to Augur of Bolus, where do you see those 2 cards?
Augur Bolus is way better in this deck in particular. I think it depends on like whatever deck you want it in, but in this one in particular, I believe you would rather have Druid of the Cow a lot of the time. Against red, actually, it's very possible that Druid is better because the acceleration's super relevant against them. It's actually just getting the critical mass of mana that you need is really rough against the red deck sometimes.
I'm actually kind of under the impression that the mana is more important for that deck than playing Augur. I tried Augur in a teamer version, and I just missed once. And that was bad. Like, you cannot miss on Augur in like the what I don't know.
Oh, you can.
Are you going to 6?
Are we going to 6 or 7?
Did you mull?
I mulled.
Okay, because I mulled. Okay, so we'll both go to 7. We'll have a real game where we both get to play Magic the Gatherings. Or not.
No, we're going to 6.
All right, I'll go to 6 as well.
All right, so another question. What Planeswalkers do y'all see breaking into Modern?
Why can't I have 2 lands in my opener?
Look, I just
the
have
hell?
a 1 lander as well. I get it.
I'm going to keep it. It's another, should I? I don't know. How do we... okay, keep it. I'll just mulligan, whatever. Are you on 6?
Yeah.
All right. Yes. More 7?
Yeah.
Yes. Both our
This is
decks are
kind of
bad.
nonsense.
I haven't had more than 1 land in any of my hands so far, I don't think. Oh, no, my first game had 2 lands. Excuse me.
I think the total CMC of my 3 hands so far is like over 100.
Well... maybe work on that a little. I don't know. trim some stuff.
What can I say? Maybe I need to be shaving Nexus of Fates.
Maybe. All right. Both draw 7. This is for
All right,
realsies.
let's do it.
We have to keep the 7s, though. We've mulliganed too much. Oh, God. 1 land again. Okay. Whatever, man. I don't know.
All right, yeah, I guess. All right.
You're up. Okay. Cool. Let's just keep on. How do people play this deck? It's so mind-numbing.
Go.
All I do is play another guy. What the heck, man? Heck, go.
Right. Instead of writing down new life totals, I'm gonna circle the life total I'm at from the previous game.
Yeah, your turn. It's gonna do the same thing every game. I draw more Sky Marcher aspirants than lands every game.
Go.
For you.
I'm at 14.
Go.
Got him. Bend this forest.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and draw my first spell of the game. We did it.
Nice.
Go.
Well, now I lose, so it's fine. Attack.
10.
Hunted Witness.
How many witness? 100 of them.
Finally drew a land, but it's after I played on my 1-drop. Classic. Classic.
Who could have seen this coming?
Maybe people
drop a
play
turn.
this deck because it's really good in best of 1.
I just remember Cedric talking about playing it for a GP, and all he did was talk about how terrible it was, and he wasn't going to play it, and then he ended up playing it.
Yeah, he did pretty good at the GP, I think.
Yeah,
too.
you went like a 11-4 or 12-3 or something?
That's a Tamiyo.
Tamayo. I'm going to name Wilderness Reclamation.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so there's Grave. That's deck.
Go.
Tap. Draw. 18. Finally. Let's go. 6 of Tamiyo and 2 EU, I think. Is that right? Yep. You're at 12. Tamiyo dead.
All right. You said I'm at 12?
That's what I got. Did you 18, then 14, and then
Yeah,
now this turn?
sounds good.
Your turn. Unless no, I think I missed a whole swing for 4.
For some reason, I thought I was at 10.
Yeah, I had you at 10 as well, so I was kind of confused there.
Yeah, because the turn I cast this, I attack for 4, and the turn I cast this, I attack
Yeah.
for 4. So yeah, you're at. You should be at 8 then.
Okay, does that change your attack?
Wait. Yeah, I'm gonna kill. No, you were
No,
at 12.
yeah,
you would go to 4.
I'll go to like 2,
No,
right?
just whatever. You were at 12. I'd be attacking you for 8.
Yes.
No, you'd be at 10. I'd be attacking you for 8. No, I'm gonna do the same thing. So
Okay, I'm at 8.
go.
I'm
Bacon.
gonna draw for turn.
Eggs.
Do you have a blue source?
Yes. Time to start upkeeping Root Snare.
Yeah, well, when you put it that way. This is a weird one. I could be really greedy and go for this line, but I think instead of that, I'm going to play a Breeding Pool and pass the turn.
All of them. At you.
I'm at 8.
Oh.
We'll do it.
I just assumed you were bouncing from drawing a card.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Land, go.
End of your turn, I'll bounce your Marshal.
He bounced. Yep.
Minus
Target.
target Root Snare.
Okay.
Go. Upkeep, I have effects.
Okay.
Root Snare.
Resolves.
Go.
Draw. Land. Let's go Marshall Tribunal.
That's the one. Jesus. Alright, well. Maybe got a little greedy before, or played a little too cautiously.
Go.
Alright, Reclamation, it's time. Close.
Yeah. Great. Should just put it back on top forever. Just Nexus Fate, Nexus Fate, Nexus Fate.
Cut.
Okay.
Untap.
Yep.
Draw.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Second land.
Yep.
Where's my thing?
Star City's Blessing. So you can draw a card and try to hit Root Snare, huh? Ooh, draw 2 cards off of that. Hell yeah.
God damn it. God dang it.
Well, you found the Root Snare. What are you saying?
Go.
Why are you saying GD for? You found it. You did it.
I did it.
Okay. I will attack. That resolves. Oh, what? Oh, it was a reclamation.
Yeah,
Oh, I just saw. I thought it was Root Snare. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I was just like,
okay.
all right, well, I don't know what he's on about, but I'll let him kill me, I guess.
All right. Well, 3-1. That is not how I expected this to go, honestly.
Yeah, I think that blink of an eye was like really bad on that Benelish Marshall, which is my fault.
I'm not sure. I actually think you. I guess if you're going to play the Tamio that turn, I actually think I like just going kick the blink of an eye on the Benelish Marshall, take 5 down to 3.
I died if I did that.
How?
I didn't have enough mana to do that and Root Snare if you had a counter. I was respecting a counter spell.
Oh, sure.
So
No, that's
I
fair.
Root Snared first and then end of turn to the thing, with the idea being, because this whole line is me trying to play around you having counter magic, because if you have the counter spell, you can't attack for lethal next turn unless you tap lower than counter spell mana.
Sure.
So I was trying to just do everything I could to buy extra turns while respecting you having a Dovin's Veto.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about some of the new cards we played with today and our feelings about them. And then, of course, Rob, if we have any thing to chime in with from chat, feel free. First matchup, we had Azorius Control versus your Mardu Aristocrats deck, the really aggressive version with heroic reinforcements. Personally, I thought Commence the Endgame wasn't that great in that particular matchup, and it's possible that I need more aggressive sweepers, like something like Fiery Cannonade on Izzet strategy, featuring like Augur of Bolus and things like that, to clear the way for my Commence the Endgame token to start attacking, so you can't just chump block forever. Because when I have Settle the Wreckage, you don't really have to attack with everything most of the time. Like, I can't really punish you for only attacking with like 2 or 3 creatures.
Sure. So the two things that stuck out to me that game is I think you really want Cry of the Carnarium.
Sure.
My
So
deck
an
would have
Esper-
struggled a
Esper
lot
control
against
deck.
that.
Sure.
I'm also not actually sure how bad you need white. I don't know if maybe you want to go like Grixis or something like that. There are a bunch of like red sweepers that are coming out, things like that. So it's possible that that's better. Like, I almost wonder if there were just too many card advantage engines between like Insight, Teferi, and Commence the Endgame, if you kind of just need to consolidate a little bit to what your finishers are.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely true. There's a definite punishment scenario where you just play too many things that spin the wheels instead of actually pushing you towards closing the game or catching back up. When you have Chemisters and Search for Escanta and Teferi and Commence. So yeah, very good point there. As far as your Aristocrats deck, the Celebrant put me in really weird spots, which I liked, where I couldn't really cast a Wrath effect, or else I would just take lethal damage.
Right.
Dreadhorde Butcher seemed pretty good when you're an aggressive slanted deck with a bunch of ways to punish you for killing creatures.
Sorin was incredible.
Sorin was
very impressive every time. Just so many games where it's like I pre-combat something. I'm like, go ahead, counter it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Get it anyway.
Yeah.
No, so Sorin was really nice, and I can only imagine that Sorin is going to start seeing a lot of play once it's officially in the format. Specifically, I like it a lot with Resplendent Angel, and Brad Nelson actually wrote about that combo in one of his original articles a few weeks ago when Sorin was first previewed, and I think that 1-2 punch, even though Angel into Sorin doesn't gain enough life quite to do it, any other 2-power creature before that to attack for 5, and then you get to turn on the Resplendent Archangel immediately, I think. Or
Resplendent, you need to gain 5 life.
I believe you need to gain 5 life, and then you make a 4/4.
Oh,
it might be 4 life.
If it's 4, you can do it immediately because you can roll up.
It is 5 because you can't do it immediately.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's like a really cool thing that Sorin can do. Yeah, so second match, we had, I want to say, I don't remember because my brain is melting.
Sultai Vanifer
Thud.
versus, is it Drix?
You had Thud versus a whole deck.
I want to play so many more Thuds. So many more thuds. Holy crap, that card felt sweet. And it's not a new card, but it's a card that got overlooked, I guess, for a long time.
I mean, people have played Fling for a while. It was big with Electrostatic Pummeler pre-rotation, so it's not that surprising that if you just have a bunch of things where you go, all right, if you just let me sit here and play Magic, I'll make a 10 or 15 power thing and...
Yeah, and there's also a chance that the deck should be playing like 2 or 3 thuds and like 2 or 3 maximized velocity. So you have that, like if your opponent ever taps out, you have that combo turn where you go Enigma Drake, maximize attack, thud you, and you just deal like 15 out of nowhere or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that just seems like a ton of burst damage that, you know, you didn't really have. I mean, you had maximized plus that before, but thud can just do something crazy in that scenario. So I don't know. I like the look of the deck. Saheeli gives you another angle where you can actually just like go wide instead of going tall and upstairs. So, you know, I think there's definitely something there. I'm not sure exactly what yet, though. And then you played...
I think Saheeli actually is a better thing than Maximize Velocity that kind of does the same thing. If you remember back, what was it, Game 4, where your Saheeli was at 1, but if she was at 2, I died.
Yeah.
Because you just could turn a servo into an Enigma Drake, and the servo didn't have summoning sickness, so then you 30 me and then 30 me again.
Yeah, no, that would have been pretty sweet. I could have, like, I think I discarded one at some point where I could have kept a second Saheeli when I knew the first one was going to get hit for 4 damage. I don't know. I also could have, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It
was a complicated game.
Saheeli looked okay after sideboard because the game's changed in such a way where I wanted like a grindy engine,
right.
And I had answers to all the things that invalidated said grindy engine in game 1. So it's possible the deck should just be built like a control deck featuring Saheeli, Augur of Bolas, Lava Coil, things that can answer a wider variety of creatures, so you can make sure Saheeli kind of sticks around for quite a long time.
Sure.
But after sideboard, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of these Izzet decks actually just board 2 or 3 Saheeli in matchups or scenarios where they can transform their deck to basically answer everything and have an engine that your opponent has a really tough time beating.
Yeah, things like that where you just get paid for playing Magic are so good. That's why the Delve cards are so powerful. Is their cost is play spells.
Yeah, and then of course you had your Vanifar deck, which honestly looked really impressive. The Vanifars, I obviously cheesed you twice with Thud when I was
sure.
very far behind in both scenarios, and you had Vanifar I think only active twice
or something.
Yeah, and one of the times I literally just had to kill you, or else like you were going to untap and do multiple activations and just bury me.
Yeah, you were going to be very far behind game 1, and then game 3 or game 2 maybe you were actually just dead on board or something like that, but then just
pow.
Yeah.
Pow. So really sweet Vanifar brew with a lot of toolbox stuff, and then of course
Liliana was incredible.
Yeah, Liliana Dreadhorde General I think is going to be one of the best cards from the new set. It just looks so
It felt
insane.
like cheating.
Yeah.
You're just...
I mean, every time you make it 2-2, it's like, well, I can't cast Sweeper, just draw a card. And then, like, I can't really attack it because I'm at 4. I'm going to die.
It was like the Aristocrats thing, the damned if you do, damned if you don't, where, like, you had a blocker, and I'm just like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Block. Do it.
Yeah, great. Thanks for blocking.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, the match that we just played. I mean, White Weenie does his thing. You know, same thing every game. It's really boring. I hate it. Gideon Blackblade seems like it could be really strong against mid-range decks for giving things indestructible and dominating combat, as well as aggro decks where you can give something lifelink. While also, you can even give himself lifelink and start attacking for 4 and gaining 4 every turn, I think. You might just say other creature. I'm not sure.
It's other creature.
Okay, sure. So give one of your 2-power creatures lifelink, start attacking. I don't know. It could be better in a not super 1-drop heavy deck.
Yeah, sure. And one of the ones that doesn't care as much about Venerated Loxodon, or if you're into Ajani's Pride Mate, I remember you mentioned that to me. That could be
sweet.
Huge.
Yeah, and it's not official yet, but there's another 1-mana lifelink creature that that got actually spoiled recently. So there's a chance that there is actually an Ajani's Pride Mate deck that goes really well with Gideon Blackblade. And then,
I buy that.
Of course, the new Tamio in your Simic Nexus deck.
Right. So that last game we played where I had to rip at the end and bricked and didn't, you tribunaled a Tamio of mine, and if I had the Tamio around, I don't think I I mean, I guess I could lose the game, but
I mean,
I don't think I was losing the
getting
game.
back Roosnare seemed really good.
Yeah.
The fact that I didn't even realize she put the cards into the graveyard, so she kind of builds up, a lot more things to choose from with her minus ability, which I think is really sweet.
Right. And there's a point where, I flipped the cards over and shuffled the Nexus in and looked down and realized all of a sudden if I rip a Search for Azcanta, it is immediately transforming.
Yeah. So obviously the plus misses quite a bit. I think
Sure.
it's like misses more than it hits, but I think that's okay. Like when you're digging for something very specific, like a Nexus of Fate or a Wilderness Reclamation, you just get 4 looks at it, and a lot of times that's the rest of the cards are irrelevant when you're playing
Yes.
decks like this, and I think that's what matters more than anything. So.
Exactly. It's very much a sort of like virtual card advantage situation where if you're only looking for one card, it's almost like you got to loot 4 times.
Yeah.
And that's just fine.
All right. So that was the day.
Yep.
What we got?
Well,
Please say nothing. I want to go home, man.
no. First, Emma, where else can people watch you play Magic?
Oh my gosh, all over the freaking internet. So I stream. I have Twitter. I have Facebook. You can find me at my handles. That's at EM_TEEGEEMTG. I write for StarCityGames.com. I help produce videos for Tellurian Community College over on YouTube. If you're a fan of him, check him out. If you're not, super check him out. He does really, really good work, and he's a great guy. God, I think that's most of it.
Well, you do
Right
good
now.
work on the SCG tour doing commentary, and
I guess that's a big deal, huh?
yeah, and you also offer coaching lessons too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That is true. I am a Magic coach by day. That's most of what my income comes from at this point is giving Magic lessons over the internet.
Superhero by night. All right.
Can you see past the glasses disguise? I don't.
No, because when you have your mask on, it's like the same as having your glasses on. All right. Well, you're gonna be here Thursday, right? Okay. So you just put these wherever you think they should go. No, they're up here somewhere. We're gonna have to retire them. If I don't win them back on Thursday, we have to retire the marbles. I think that's just the rule.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So I don't know. You can put them next to the Somerset, New Jersey trophy, or next to.
Would it fall down if I put it in the trophy?
I don't think so.
All right, we're gonna try it.
All right.
We're gonna try it. We're doing it. Oof. You don't know if it'll fit. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. Marbles.
We've done it.
Emma won the marbles. I'll try to get them back next Thursday. As far as I know, and don't quote me on this, we're actually not doing versus on Tuesday. There's going to be a huge streamer event on Tuesday.
Are you participating?
I am participating. It's going to be a War of the Spark, basically streamer showdown type deal next Tuesday. That's sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. They're giving all of the participants fully stocked accounts to try out all of their War of the Spark brews that they want to try out. And I have quite a few. We've done so much on Versus Live over the past few weeks that I'm very excited to participate in this. So you can check out my channel, twitch.tv/strong_sad. And if you would do that, that would be really cool. Come hang out with me.
sponsored.
Hashtag sponsored. And also Ross is just going to be gone doing various Pro Tour things or whatever. So yeah, so that's happening Tuesday instead of Versus Live. So apologies, we're not going to be doing that, but hopefully you come check me out on my channel.
All right, and then got a few subs today too.
Woo!
Scott Arbo,
All right.
Dritz 087, Cody John 992, and Mad Bloom Mage. So thank you to our subs for today and all of our other subs as well.
Alrighty, well, that's going to wrap it up here for Versus Live today. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks to Emma for coming and filling in and having a good time with us. Hopefully you had a good time.
Yeah, I love playing Magic. I love hanging out with you. We talk all the time.
Kicked my buns. Took the marbles from me.
Had it coming.
Yeah, you know. Somebody had to knock me down past the bottom rung where I'm already at.
Well, I mean, I'm filling in for Lost Miriam, so, someone had to win.
Dude, he's been destroying me lately. When we first started doing the marbles, I won like the first 1 or 2 times. Then he won for like 6 weeks straight. You know how demoralizing it is to lose to Ross for 6 weeks straight?
Huh. I thought it was the Versus series, but now it's just like the business as usual series where, I'm filling in and just kicking Todd's butt. Is that?
Oh, bye.